Good afternoon, everybody. Hello and welcome along to the Rangers Rabble Podcast. This is your afternoon Rabble, brought to you in association with the Rabble Network. How are we all this fine Thursday afternoon? I'm Martin, I'm your host, and my co-host today is Trev. As always, Trev, how are you?
I'm all right. Although we're a bit like the walking wounded, aren't we? We're a bit sore today, Martin, aren't we? So we need lots of sympathy and love and chat because we're a bit
Well,
broken, especially Martin.
well, we're not going to get that sympathy in this chat, Trev.
No,
Let's be
no,
honest.
we're not.
I'm
That's the
actually
affairs.
surprised. I'm actually surprised that nobody has yet slagged my one stray grey hair and my beard yet.
Yeah, it's cool though. It's cool. You could have a bit of what's it called, salt and pepper or something, and you have the right mix.
Well, I've got wee bits of grey all over my hair as well. So, but I'm going to grow old gracefully. In fact, I'm probably not going to grow old. I won't make it that long, but I'm going to grow as old as I can gracefully. That's my plan.
Really, I'm going to grow old disgracefully. Like say
No, no.
the guy that I do the gaming podcast with, Gray. He's you've talked to him before for some editing things in the past, Martin. He's 67 and he acts younger than I do.
Mm,
That's the secret. It's long life, just being daft.
yeah,
There you go.
absolutely. Imagine we came on here and we're daft, but people would just switch off straight away. Because you know how
No,
super serious we are. You know how super serious and professional the rabble is.
that's it.
And by the
Professional
way,
professionals.
exactly. Scott, I meant to play that intro this morning and I had set the wrong one in. So that's why that intro wasn't played. So I do
I like
apologize.
that intro.
Yes, well,
Oh,
I'm not getting demonetized yet for it. So the second I get demonetized for it, but that intro's gone. Um, just like the other one I tried to play in YouTube went, oh, no, 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 we don't
even though
want
you changed it enough, and it's still it's smart. See there. It's an automated system that grabs it as well. By the way, don't get it.
it. Yeah, like you said. But if we get to like 1 million subscribers, then YouTube just let you do whatever you want.
That's
Um,
it. Yeah, tell me about it. It's annoying.
yes.
Ah,
Anyway, please do get your questions in today, folks. It's a bit of a slower news day, to be fair. We've discussed what we can about Tuesday night, considering that we do about 600. You're going to hear that quite often through the show, but I do apologise. Um, considering that we've had about 6,000 shows since Tuesday night. We will look a wee bit ahead to the weekend, but Trev and Ash are going to do that for us tomorrow on the afternoon
mhm.
rabble, build up to the Dundee game. So get your questions in. If you start with just a nice big capital Q in the comments, whether you're watching on YouTube, Facebook, or Twitter, then I'll be able to see them and star them accordingly. Listen, I'll tell you the Ribs story on Monday, multiple man. I can't really go into too many stories in the afternoon rabble because some folk get upset that I don't just automatically um, just go straight to the Rangers chat, which is what this is for, to be honest. Trev, let's start, shall we, with Cyril Dessers. Um,
Yeah.
Is your thoughts maybe starting to change on him? Is he looking better? Look, it's one game, right? I'm not getting ahead of myself, right? It's one game in this new Russell Martin system, and I'm not sitting here going that he's the answer. Now he's going to be, the number one striker. He's going to score all the goals. He's going to play like he played against Victoria Pilsen, right? But are
Mhm.
people maybe starting to change their tune a wee bit now with old Cyril?
Um, it's looking slowly but surely like that at the moment. I'm, in terms of my opinion, it hasn't changed massively. Like I was Liberty's biggest fan before. Um, all he can really do is do the best job possible in that park and try and prove everyone wrong, including me. And I do not mind eating humble pie. I really don't. Like you say, is he the answer permanently going forward? I'm not convinced still yet because time will tell if he misses 10 million bloody chances and they're in key games that could get his points or trophies or. And I know it's a squad game, it's not down to one guy, but when he's missing the ball to put it in the net, it seems like it's just his fault in that moment. Although I have to take my hat off to him in the last game, he was brilliant. And maybe Russell Martin's style will actually suit him even more than any other previous gaffer. Maybe he won't miss as many chances. Maybe he'll be more clinical. If he ends up staying, I think I was on record as saying before, Martin, if he ends up staying, it's not the end of the world. I just wanted us to go out and try and get another permanent striker that would maybe compete and or take over from him. I can't see it happening. You've got Danilo, who he's hopeless. I'm sorry, he is. Lovely guy. He seems like one of the loveliest guys ever, but lovely guys don't finish first usually. So he's...
Is he hopeless, Trev, or does he just not fit into the formation that Martin's tried to play, that Clement, well, I mean, I say Clement played and Barry played, he was never fit, and then Barry didn't seem to take to him. Let's be honest, Trev, Barry just didn't take to Danilo at all. I'm always very reserved to say that any professional footballer's crap, right? Because you're a professional footballer for a reason, right? So I don't like to call professional footballers crap, right? Is it just the case that he's maybe either A, not good enough, albeit before he got injured he was scoring goals, or is it B, he just does not suit the system that is going to be played at Rangers?
It could be B, because I do remember when he was having a few games with like Iggy he's always playing with another striker. Not always, when he was playing those few games, he was playing with another striker. And that seemed to work with him pretty well. So maybe he does suit the kind of two up front, but how often do we do that? How often do teams play with that? If he's got enough service to him, doesn't need to be another striker beside him. It could be his wingers, it could be a great number 10 behind him, then that should be enough service for him to do the job. We can't change formations for individual players, Martin, in my opinion. I don't think we can. We can't afford that luxury. So if he can't play in that style, then we need to maybe say to him, like, all the best, mate, move on, because it's so much money we spent him sitting on the sidelines doing nothing.
Does he need to be given time, though, Trev? Does he need to be given time under this Russell Martin system, right? And the reason that I ask that is, I'm sorry. The reason that I ask that is we've seen Gassama and Ant-Man on Tuesday night, flying wingers, getting balls into the box. Obviously, Gassama coming in at the back post, scoring goals. It looks like the link-up between the two is going to be phenomenal. Does Dessers just need a wee bit of time? Game time as well, which is obviously the most important thing. Because if you look at the ability of the two wingers that we've got, or the perceived ability, right? Because we've only seen one game for Ant-Man. I mean, he does have the ability, but I'm just not getting ahead of myself. Surely Danilo would be able to find a way to fit in there and play off those two, and hopefully be able to score goals.
Yeah, he hasn't had much of an opportunity since these guys have come in. Like, as you say, if he's starting to play with these really impressive wingers that we've got now, and I know I've said it to death, but I'll say it again, they're bloody good, then that might actually help him, especially when you've got someone like Asgard coming in to supply him with more service, and then we'll be able to put that myth to bed. Can he play without another striker beside him, especially if he's got enough in the attacking line, enough forwards? Can he do it or not? So, listen, if someone comes in for a good bid with him, you let him go. If not, you try to see if you can use him in any shape or form, because it's too much money to just sit there, let's say, do nothing, Martin. So,
yeah. This comment for I can't even say that. I wouldn't even know where to begin with that name, right? Nothing has changed with Dessers. If there's a bid of 4 or 5 million, we have to take it, especially for a 30-year-old. Do you go along with that? See, I really don't know. I'm stuck between a rock and a hard place, Trev. So, do you go along with that?
I do, for the exact reason he said, literally for the exact reason. How often do you get your money back on someone that scored you 50 goals over the previous 51 goals over the previous couple of seasons, who is 30 years of age? It's very hard to get your money back, maybe even a profit on someone like that. So that's why you have to take it. I don't know if the gaffer would accept it, though, because ultimately it rests with him, doesn't it? He gets asked, do you want to keep him or not? So I think he'll say he'll keep him, because remember what he said to the boys in the dressing room? He's the only one we've had one bid in for. Have a word with yourselves. So I don't think he would want him to go. He likes him. He likes his style of play, Martin. So yes, is the answer to the question, but I don't think it'll happen.
See, for me, one of the big things, and again, this does not matter if you're not good enough, right? It really doesn't matter if you're not good enough. But for me, I like the fact that Dessers wants to be here. I like the fact that even when it was muted that he could possibly be leaving, there was obviously the bid in for him. Dessers' reaction was, if Rangers want me to go, I will go, but I want to stay here and I want to be remembered fondly at this football club. So I know for a fact, Trev, that every single game that Dessers has got the ability to go out and give his all and do his absolute best for the team, do all the running that Russell Martin wants to do, all the closing down that Martin wants to do, no matter how tired he is. Dessers is going to give you everything that he's got. Everything that he's possibly got, Dessers is going to give you. The question then becomes, for this season, if we somehow make it into the Champions League, it's looking as though it's going to be Bruges. But obviously there's still a second leg to go there, so we don't obviously know yet. But if we go over to the Czech Republic and finish off the job, which we should, it looks like it's going to be Bruges. If we can then get past Bruges and get into the Champions League, as Cyril Dessers is a player who, taking away that he's going to give you, he's always going to run his socks off, he's going to do everything that he possibly can. Is he good enough to get the goals when it matters, whether it's starting or whether it's coming off the bench, if we bring in another striker or whatever it is, to pay back more than that 4 or 5 million you're going to get from him?
Is it no Czechia now? Is that not what they're calling it? Or
I
Czech
don't
Republic?
know.
I'm confused.
I don't keep up with politics.
Politics? All right, okay.
We change city names for politics all the time, don't we?
We do. I answer your question. I think yes, he can do a job if called upon next week. I generally do. He is that link up man, even if he's not getting loads of goals. Listen, before Russell came in, he was doing a lot of this stuff anyway. That was never the problem, as we know. It was just the ball in front of him. We had too much time to think. He went, and then we had a brain fart and he booted it a million miles away. But if he didn't have much time to think about it, he put the ball in the net because the striker's instinct kicked in. And I don't think that'll ever change because you can't teach an old dog new tricks. So that's not in question, Martin. I think he will continue. He has done that and he will continue to do that going forwards. He's brilliant at that, and he suits that even more with Russell's team than any previous team of ours he's played in. So I reckon he will get the start because he's done so well. It's his shirt to lose at the moment, and he earns it. He earns it. I have no problem with that.
Yeah. Well, obviously it'll be interesting to see what happens moving forward anyway. And I'm sure that you and Ash will discuss tomorrow who's likely to start up front against Dundee. I'm pretty sure that'll come up. Question for Multiple Man. Have you seen the lineup for the Sports Scene anniversary? I have. Dougie Donnelly presenting Jock Brown, Archie McPherson and Rob McLean on comms. I don't know why they're doing an anniversary and Rob McLean's on it, right? But anyway, of course, the poorer option, McLean gets our game. You couldn't write it. You honestly couldn't write it. I didn't know that Rob McLean had got our game, right? But you just couldn't write it, Trev. One of the worst commentators I've ever heard in my life. And they're doing a special anniversary and we get Rob McLean.
This is hilarious when I read about this. Like, I mean, see if you add up all their ages together, man, how many zeros have you got in the end of it? Rob, listen, there's worse out there than Rob McLean, but yes, that voice of his. But then saying that, let's take it back to the legend that is Archie McPherson on.
Yes.
What was it? Was it Only Excuse? Woof! And
Yeah,
he's here
woof.
and the hammer finds the slammer. He cracks me up. Dougie Donnelly
and that's a penalty to Rangers, Archie. It was a foul on the halfway line. Yes, but I don't care.
Good, mate.
Yeah.
Dougie Donnelly of Simple Minds. He's all right. He's a bit of a legend, but I'm no Jock Brown. I don't give a shit about Rob McLean. Oh dear.
Do you know? I'll say one thing for Jock Brown. Right, see it in his newspaper articles. Biased as anything. Right, absolutely biased as anything. Right,
he doesn't try to hide it.
Didn't have a nice thing to say about Rangers in his newspaper articles. Right, see commentary wise, he was brilliant. From what I can remember, he was brilliant. He was straight down the line. There was none of this bias in his commentary or whatever. He was absolutely fine, and he was a good commentator. But his newspaper articles were dreadful. He was a chairman at Celtic, I think, Jock Brown, wasn't he?
Yeah, that rings a
But
bell.
Archie McPherson, like
That's
disaster for
brilliant.
Celtic every time any team scored against them. It was so good. He's brilliant,
I
Archie
miss that,
McPherson.
man. I miss that show so much. I really do. Belter.
It just goes to show, but I mean, Rob McLean aside, how poor commentary's got in this country.
Yeah. You can. I think back then you were allowed to. I think it was a morality thing. A lot of people knew who you supported, but you were still able to be impartial when you're on. And I know people probably slate me for it, but I don't have a problem with Hugh Keevans. A lot of people do. Anytime I've heard snippets or sections of sports scene, I've never heard them once put the boot into Rangers, despite admitting he's a Celtic man, or at least he was Celtic man growing up. That's how it should be. You should be impartial. You should be able to call it that. Unfortunately, not everyone's like that, Martin. You're about to get beamed up and probed by the judge.
Beam me up,
Yes.
Scotty.
That's it. You're getting taken away, mate. After I've heard the big man's upstairs has heard about all the problems you've got in your chest. He's taking you from us. But there is worse out there, mate. That it could be a riot. It could be a laugh. These old duffers in the commentary booth at the weekend. It could be a laugh, or it could be a riot. We don't know.
Aye, I'm looking forward to it anyway. I think it's going to be really good.
Yeah.
Question from by the way, everybody's pulling you up, Trev. Multiple man.
They're entitled to their opinion.
Everybody. Vipond
Deacon
was
Blue.
Deacon Blue.
Sorry. Aye, that's it. He was a drummer, wasn't he? He was a drummer.
Yeah.
He still is.
I think they're a very Christian band. I think Deacon Blue, from memory. But yeah. Anyways,
Not my cup of tea.
I don't mind them. I know his niece. How good was Cameron, from our very own Stephen Robertson? I've got a question for Slipstream as well that I'm going to bring up in a wee second, and I do want to talk about Mendy as well, who we're linked with. But Trev, and I'm happy to talk about this all week. How good was Cameron, Trev? How good was it to see a young Scottish midfielder in the middle of the park playing for Rangers and bossing it?
It was a pleasant surprise, wasn't it? A welcome surprise. I'm chuffed for the wee man. I really am. Such a nice, well-mannered chap coming on, and just the boots weren't too big for him, or the shirt wasn't too big for him to fill. Some people would shriek under that pressure. He didn't. He done a fantastic job, I thought. He done what the manager asked him to do. You sometimes just need energy. Sometimes just need to listen to his instructions and run your backside off and work hard for the team. And that's exactly what the young man done. He acquitted himself so well. I'm not going to quite say it's his shirt to lose, but he's doing himself no favours with that performance.
I don't think that's a thing anymore. Shirt to lose.
No?
I don't think that's a thing anymore. I think it's whatever team Russell Martin wants to put out, he puts out. Whether you played a blinder the week before
Well,
or
Raskin.
not.
So yeah.
I don't think it's a case of it's your shirt to lose anymore. What I think it is a case of, though, is if you start 3 or 4 or 5 times, and if that's every 2 weeks or every week or every 3 weeks, and you don't perform, then you lose your shirt, then you lose your place. Absolutely. So I agree with you there. He's done absolutely no harm to his chances of starting against Dundee on Saturday, or Pilsen at the weekend, or Celtic, or St Mirren, or whatever. He's done himself no harm.
Martin, and there's another point. If with the style of play we have, we will need to rotate players more often. I'm not quite saying the whole Chelsea revolve the bloody squad every week or every fortnight scenario, but it will happen a bit more often because of the amount of running we do. Even if we are the fittest we've ever been in their lives, you will still be blowing out your arse at some point, and you will need subs in the second half. You will need to get a rest every so often, but there's no way the human body can do that for 90 minutes twice a week for the rest of the season. Impossible. So we'll see.
I know that they're slightly different positions, right? And I don't want to stick the boot into any Rangers player, although I have over the years, right? Has Cameron showed up barring a little bit? I know that they, like I say, I know they play in different positions. I know that they've got different jobs to do. I know Barron had a bit of a spell last season where we looked at him and thought, oh yeah, this boy's good. But he seems to have fell off the rails a little. And I don't know if that's because he's not been getting constant game time and he's been a bit part player here and there. But has he showed up, Barron, a little?
Yes and no. He does play in a different position, so it is a little bit unfair to compare them. However, if anything, it should be inspiration for Barron to pull the finger out and actually try that bit harder. I mean, I think Barron's more of the kind of sitting type guy, the tidy up kind of guy.
The Rothwell Raskin position.
Exactly. So you're screwed, man. You really are. What chance have you got with that? He's not getting many games, I don't think. But if he does, it's probably because he's earned it. Cameron will do more work in there, do more running, setting things up. He is a very, very good player. I think a lot more to come from young Cameron as well. Have we been to the have we sorted the tribunal money out with him yet?
I think that's all done.
That is it. I wasn't sure if it would actually be completed or not. Good, because that could be a pain. But no, two different players. But if you're a young Scottish midfielder at the end of the day, even if you're your colleagues in a slightly different position, you've got to look over your shoulder and go, this guy's absolutely smashing it. I might need to raise my game. And that's what will happen in this squad, if anything. If Russell gets the players playing for him, right, like his pal, they're all his pal, and they're all at play for each other, and they want to bust a gut for each other, they'll each raise one another's game. Competition will be good, and we'll all individually they'll all get themselves better as time goes on. That's the dream, Martin. That's what you're looking for. And then you have two brilliant players for every single position, or two good players for every position that you can swap in and out to give everyone some rest. So cautiously optimistic for what's coming ahead. But I know I've said it several times in the past, and we'll discuss it more with Ash tomorrow. Saturday will be the key. Because we know the midweek games take care of themselves. Saturday will be the key. If the same thing happens as Saturday's happened the week before at Motherwell, there's problems.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
Yeah, and this comment in for Paul McCorrickle. I don't know what that noise was. The talk of getting rid of Barron is daft, so you get a rib. What other young Scottish player is there about? And don't say Miller. Miller. No, nobody's talking, Trev, about getting rid of Barron.
No.
Absolutely not. And listen, it would make my life if in 3 or 4 years' time, if a midfield three was Barron, Cameron, and Rice. If all three of them were good enough to take this Rangers team forward, I would love absolutely nothing more than have a three in midfield that were all young, all Scottish. That's my dream for our football club.
It is.
I just feel right now that Barron's a little bit behind the eight ball, and he's going to need to adapt to he's going to need to adapt to Martin's style, which listen, he could absolutely do. I've got no problems, no issues, no worries that he's a good enough young player to be able to do that. Doesn't mean he will, but I think he can. I absolutely think he can. Right,
agreed.
A question in from Slipstream Merchant. What do we need more, a striker or a left back? My answer to that, Trev, would be both. But you've not got that option. What do we need more, a striker or a left back?
Oh, it is both. But left back, if you after Ben Marn, Jeff Day is decent. I don't think he's the answer, however. And Red Van's nowhere in the scene. Hopefully, especially if he does go for a few million, then we need to invest that in a left back that he wants. Literally, needs to go straight back in at the kitty. The only reason the left back wins slightly over the striker is just because Dessers is doing such a good job at the moment. And we know Dio's a bit bust at the moment, but we also have Egerman to come back and give competition, so it's not the same priority. We do have three strikers that are at least on paper good, so left back for me. What about yourself, Martin? Come on, don't go off the fence.
I would say if we could only make one more signing this season, then left back.
Yeah,
100%.
edges it.
100%
It
left
edges
back.
it.
And that's not because I don't think Jeffrey's good enough, because I was on this show before Tuesday night, and everybody knows my opinions on Jeffrey. I like him. I think he's got all the attributes to be a great player. He has to then put that into practice and training and in matches and then get there.
It's a defending, though. It's a bit.
And
Yeah.
that'll only get better by experience. And if it doesn't get better, then he's not good enough. It's as simple as
true.
that.
True.
But I think there's potential there for him. But he can't have another season where he's playing every game. It just can't happen, because he's going to go through difficult times, Trev. And when he goes through those difficult times, he needs support.
He had competition at times. I'm being generous at times because Ridvan's always blood injured. With Ridvan,
Yes.
And you think that would push him on. It didn't. So, I mean, Chelsea were rumoured to be briefly interested in him at one point. Take that with a large pinch of salt, of course. But if there must be something to him, they see potential in a player as well. I wouldn't have a problem with him staying, mate, but he needs competition with another good left back, and that might actually help. I look forward to it. I hope he does a good job. He done himself no issues in the last game. He was good. So let him keep the shirt again. We'll see how he goes.
Yeah, 100%. This Mendy character that we're looking at, Trev, for people are saying he's a centre back, he's a left back. Again, my knowledge of European football is horrendous.
Is it the La Liga boy, Real Betis?
Yes.
He's a big bugger.
Yes, I mean, I'm a fan of that. We're going after people who, yes, we're going after monsters, Trev. But I also do think, Suter, Giga, and Fernandez. That's not enough. It's not enough to go through the season with.
No, we need. I think quite a few of us have said we need another centre back. Because we need two good players for each position. And I know we have more than two players for each position at the moment, but they're either not good enough or are on their way out the club or whatever. So, and we know Davies isn't the answer. And Giga is in ours permanently. So I think we need to look at, not fall in love with him too much. But can you imagine we had this Mendy and Giga at the back, two massive big guys, man. That's what you've been missing, man. Actually, someone who can actually start heading the ball away a little bit more. Suter is good, and I would have no problems with him getting another contract, but Rangers haven't offered him anything. And did you see the headlines actually about Suter or contract talks have stalled? I listened to his interview, by the way. That pissed me off. No one ever. Suter never said they'd stalled. He never even hinted they stalled, and yet they put the headline out. Contract talks have stalled. You're talking shite.
Yeah,
man.
That's what the media do. That's what the media
Honestly.
do. And look, listen, I've had my say in the past about certain things, and maybe I've went a wee bit over the score, and I have, and I've prejudged people when I shouldn't have prejudged them. That's on me, right? And
You're
I know,
human,
yeah. And I know for a fact that Chris Jack is a wonderfully nice person, right? And a nicer guy you probably couldn't meet in Chris Jack. And I know that he gets information from the club from time to time. And again, he's kind of come out and says that, the links to Mendy are that there's truth in it. Now, I don't know how much Chris Jack and the guys at the Rangers Review, how much info they do get, if they're always honest when they come out and say stuff about this is happening, that's happening, etc. I don't know. The truth is, I don't know. But Chris Jack tends to get more right. Sorry, Trev, than he does get wrong. So you do tend to believe Chris, because he's got connections at the football club. You do tend to believe Chris when he comes out and says stuff like that. So the fact that he's come out and said, look, these links to Mendy, there's truth in them. Albeit you take it with a pinch of salt. I think you take what Chris Jack says with a little less pinch of salt than you would a Daily Record or something like that, because the Daily Record just spouts absolute crap.
There's tubs of salt. There's actual whole tubs of salt involved, mate. When it's the difference between them, Jesus Christ.
There's not enough salt to kill a demon than what you would need for a Daily Record.
Exactly, and as multiple man said there, you're allowed to prejudge me. We're football fans. We're allowed to do that. It's fun.
Do you know what? Do you know what though? I let my emotions get the better of me sometimes, and look, I'll be brutally honest here. From the get go, I didn't like the Rangers Review because it's a newspaper. I just didn't like it, so I prejudged everybody on it. I prejudged everybody, and I shouldn't have done that because it's wrong.
No, and it's Biggie to say as much, mate. It's Biggie to say. I think Album Record was saying to you before, I have no problem with individuals on that. I think they're all very talented. What they do a great job. It's just too formal for me. I've said to you before, they've got their own place, their own niche, because they're very formal, they're very in-depth. Young Joshua Barry, a tactical bloody genius, that guy, man. Him and Adam from Heart and Hand, those two get together, man, and it's a football geekasm. They're very, very good at what they do. And that's not my cup of tea, though, mate. XG, I still don't know what an XG is. It pisses me off.
You don't like that, but a lot of people do. It
infuriates me. How can you have an expected goals? How do you work that out? I mean, actually, it's a facetious question. Don't answer it, mate. But they've got
I know,
place.
but I totally, I was just always anti Rangers Review, and I shouldn't have been, because, like you say, Joshua Barry, brilliant guy, really nice guy.
Wrong one.
Chris Jack, and see Derek as well, who used to be on the Battle Fever podcast. Derek's a brilliant guy as well, so I shouldn't have prejudged. That was on me. But the Daily Record and the Sun and this and that and every other one.
I'll say one thing about that, Martin, if you don't mind, please, quickly. The Daily Record, 100% no. They're the ones that try to literally bury Heart and Hand. Disgusting, absolutely disgusting.
That went well for them, didn't it?
Yeah, not exactly. I mean, I think people at Hoggy and that put their hands up and went, "We've done wrong" and all that. Big, and they were honest and decent about it, and put their hands up. But I do check from time to time, and I take it with a pinch of salt. I do check the Scottish Sun from time to time. Take it with a pinch of salt, because you've got Boydie and that on there, and you've got a couple of people in there that are actually all right. But I do use that as a source. But ultimately, at the end of the day, I will use Rangers fan media as the number one source, because they will go through, read these articles and cut out the shite and take what's decent and actually present it to us. So if it's a Rangers Review, if it's ourselves on the Rabble, support fan media, because we will read the dross for you and try and cut out what's shite and what's actually
Or I'll see a nice wee headline and I'll stick that in my title for YouTube.
Yes, and you can't get copyrighted on a headline, so get it right, Rooney Media.
Yes, you absolutely can. You absolutely can. But going back to the Mendy thing, I think there is truth in it, to be fair. I can't be 100% certain. Nobody can. And to be fair, nobody can be 100% certain about anything until that player's got the scarf above their head next to the picture of Welcome to Ibrox. But I don't know, do you know much about him, Trev? Because I know literally next to nothing.
You know me, watching other football, it kind of is non-existent. I look at what club he's playing for. I look at what league he's playing for. I look at what the fees involved, and I hear good things. So, Real Betis, good team. La Liga, my favourite league in the world. I'm not a massive fan of the Premiership, actually, English Premiership. La Liga is just sexier football. The fee, reasonable. What was that, a few million? So this is all very good competition, mate. I have no problems if we sign this big guy, especially if he's another Ziga. They're
talking 3.5 million. Now, the only thing I didn't get, and I haven't really been able to find the truth in it, to be fair, is it was either a failed work permit or a failed medical or something was the reason he didn't go to PSV. I mean, he's 20-year-old. He can play centre back. He can play left back, and it was a 3.5 million transfer to PSV. But ironically, the other team that were interested was Club Brugge.
Yes, our old nemesis, Bruges. Oh, I'm looking forward to talking about that. I might bend Ash's ear about that a bit tomorrow as well. Maybe listen, sometimes you have bad luck in football when you try to sign people. We've had it in the past as well. I mean, I think the Cody thing as well was we lost out on that one, a wee bit of bad luck. Things didn't go our way. You don't get them all, Martin. You never do. Even we don't get them all. So I think this will happen. I genuinely do think this will happen. This signing, I really, really hope it goes through. Jesus Christ, you're getting beamed up, son. That's it.
Getting on with it. It's sunny. It's not sunny. I've took the. I'll let you all into a wee secret, right? See, I'm going to get a blackout
Behind
blind
the
for this,
scenes.
right? I'm going to get a blackout blind for this, right? But up until then,
I said that.
What I do is I put a towel over it and I jam it into the window, and I forgot to put the towel in. So that's why you're seeing like the suntan I'm currently getting.
Do you know what you need, Martin? You need a automated blackout blind. Do you know what that is? So you could come in, and I won't say the full word in case I set it off for everyone. You'll be like, Alex, studio blind closed, and then we motors go. I can't do that with the blinds I've got.
Do you think I'm a multi-millionaire who can afford fancy Alexes?
No, that's what I want, but I can't do that with the set. I want everything automated, like bloody Bill Gates' house.
Alexa, give the Rangers Rabble podcast a like. Oh, that's poor form, innit? That is poor form.
You listen, chat. I'm so sorry. I said Alex on purpose. He's at it. Hey Google, give the Rabble a like on podcast. That's the other one.
Oh God. Anyway, folks, listen. That will do us for today. For our beautiful and wonderful members, we have Rabble Slam tonight, which will be live. Dougal will be taking that for our lovely, wonderful members. Then we're back tomorrow morning for your 10 a.m. Rabble morning phone in. Then no, we're not. That's not on tomorrow. What
you're off tomorrow.
I'm off tomorrow. That's not on tomorrow. We've got the afternoon Rabble tomorrow. We've got the Friday night Rabble, and then of course again for our beautiful, wonderful members at 9 p.m. tomorrow night, we've got the Extreme Gaming podcast, which I believe Trev knows a little bit about. So if you want to help support the channel, you can do so just simply by hitting that like button and making sure that you are subscribed to the channel as well. You can go into the description and become a channel member on either YouTube or Patreon, just whatever you fancy. Patreon's mainly audio, and the YouTube memberships are obviously mainly video.
If you don't want to see his face, YouTube
Patreon
is
if you don't want to see my face. But if you join up on Patreon, you still get to watch the watch-alongs, and you still get to watch Rabble Slam. So no singing. Friday's the only day that we don't do the morning Rabble.
He gets a day off. I know. He gets a day off. It's terrible.
Shocking behaviour. So I will leave it there, folks. So I keep needing to pause because I can't breathe. I just want to say thank you for all the support, folks. It really does mean a lot. Thank you so much. Like I say, like, share, and subscribe, whatever platform you're watching this on. And if you want to help support us a little bit further, then you can, as we are an independent Rangers channel. Then you can become a member. So Trev, thank you very much.
Thank you, everyone. Chat, have a good one. See you tomorrow.
Yes. Thank you, everybody. We shall all speak very, very soon.